Hey, this is Magnolia Dana, giving a shout out to RealToon podcast. Thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate it and show me love.
Hey, RealToon, it's some real money in the room.
For the people who don't know, let them know who we have here today on RealToonTV.
Hi, my name is Dana, Magnolia Dana, 2810 Wheeler Street, Apartment D, baby mother of Soulja Slim.
Yeah. When you hit that apartment number, does that let it know that it's stamped that you from over there?
Yep, it's stamped and official. An address. You need an address to be from back there.
Ooh, okay, interesting. Very interesting. Well, before we get started with the interview, what's new?
Nothing's new. It's a lot of back and forth going on, and it's a lot of why I waited this long or whatever to tell my story. And basically that's about it.
Well, you know, before we dive deep into the interview, we could get started with the elephant in the room. I'm just going to be very upfront because I don't take sides in people's quarrels, nor do I like getting in family business. I actually, you know, I don't know. I don't like the fact that y'all's business is in the public eye. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's family business.
Right.
You know, and however family business it goes. And I'm not going to hold anything against you because of how you're deciding to address family business. But I do want you to have the opportunity to address any misconceptions that the people who may be unfamiliar with your story have. Right. If that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Okay.
That would be great.
Well, I'm going to start off with the good news. We're going to start off with the good news here, okay? I saw that Lil Soulja Slim was down to do a DNA test with your son.
Yes.
In spite of all the other things, you know, he said that he was okay with that.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
He said that he was willing to do a DNA. He would say he was willing to give a DNA test. But he also said that my son is not his brother. So make it make sense.
Well, I mean, you know, he don't know.
Right. He don't know, and he's only, I guess, doing it because of what's going on and what's fed to him. You know, so that's the only way he can react by what was fed to him.
Right. Well, would you be open to that happening? Like if he was serious and it was a way to make that happen, would you be open to helping with that? Is that even possible?
If he's serious, then I'm open to it, but they both gonna get tested together.
What you mean?
With the grandmother.
Okay, so what do you mean by that? They both gonna get tested together with the grandmother?
He need a test and my son need a test.
So when you say the grandmother, what do you mean the grandmother? Like her? You?
Yeah, not me. Miss Linda, their grandmother, can test both of them together.
Hold on, who is their grandmother?
Miss Linda.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Stop real quick. I'm not from Louisiana, and I don't think I said that. So I don't know the intricacy of the relationships. I've never been to Apartment D. I ain't even been to the Magnolia. I need to go to the Magnolia. You know what I'm saying? If it, you know, I don't know if it's gentrified or how it is now.
That's why I say their grandmother.
Yeah. Okay.
Their grandmother name is Miss Linda.
Okay. So, and that's Soulja Slim's mom.
Mother. Yeah.
Okay. So, what are you saying exactly needs to happen?
I'm saying that they both need to be tested.
Who? The mom and the son?
Both boys.
Oh, both boys.
Both sons need to be tested.
Right.
Because it's okay with him volunteering to give me a test, but I'm not comfortable with testing my son with him not knowing if he's really for Slim. If that makes sense.
Who? Oh, you talking about Lil Soulja Slim?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I was thinking he'd have to be tested because you comparing his DNA and his DNA to see if they share DNA.
Right. But if they don't share DNA, then who's not for who?
Oh.
Who's not for Slim?
You know, he light skinned, he got the glasses.
If they come back, I'm not saying that he's not Slim's son, but I'm saying if we gonna test mine, we gonna test him too.
Right. Right.
And we gonna do it together.
Well, one of the quarrels I believe that Peaches said, and Peaches is Slim's
sister,
his sister,
yes,
is that you waited over 20 years to say this, and you came out on the internet. You didn't come out to her directly or to the family directly. You came out to the internet. So why did you wait 20 years to come out with this story?
First of all, it was already known. It's not like I just came out with it out the blue. Everybody from the project knows that he's for Slim. Now, as far as her, Peaches,
I'm talking about Ziggy.
Yeah, Ziggy is for Slim. Peaches was 5 years old. She wouldn't remember me if she, saw me, but now, so she was a little girl. So a lot of this stuff she doesn't know about. She's just ranting and raving and speaking on it, but she really doesn't know. So she's right when she says she doesn't know me, but she knows me now. She knows me now. And I was in her presence a lot when she was a little girl.
Right. So
if she don't remember me, that's fine, but she knows me now.
Right.
And the reason why I waited is because a lot of people, our homeboys, they pushed me up there. I was like, Dana, it's time. It's time for him to be known. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go ahead on and do it. Because I really didn't want to do it. First of all, that's not my job to go to nobody's mama and tell them this girl got a baby for me. That was for Slim to do. But I'm not going to say what he said, why he didn't do it. So,
well, why did you want to do it, though? Why did you want to let them know, hey, this is the whoop? Because you could have, like, if it was the relationship, or, like, why were y'all hiding it? Let me ask that.
The thing of it is, Slim was a street dude.
Right.
Slim was everything that is, how can I put this, that you don't want your child around. And being that my son looked exactly like him, and people could say what they want, Ziggy looks exactly like Slim. By me being with Slim doing foolishness, they would have took my boy. So we hid him. He hid him. He didn't want him known. And that was his choice, and I agreed to it.
And you respected it.
Why not? I mean, why not agree to it if this man is saying, look, I don't want my child hurt because of the dumb shit I'm in the street doing, and then you right along with me, so they're going to put me, you, and him together, and they're going to snatch him, so hey. And that's how it went.
So it was more of a protection thing.
It was a protection thing. It was a protection thing. Anybody who in the street know what I'm saying, how I'm saying it. It was a protection thing. Now, they may say, well, why he didn't hide a Daryl? Well, look at Ziggy and look at a Daryl. Which one you think they would have snatched first?
What do you mean?
Like, if it was to come down to them trying to get back, New Orleans is foul. If they don't get you, they'll get your family member, your children, your mama, your auntie, your grandma, whoever. So, if they would have come after Slim out of a Daryl and Ziggy, who would you think they would take? They would come after Ziggy because I know he for sure for Slim because he looked just like him. If that makes sense.
It definitely makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Man, hold up.
Man, it was a lot of street stuff with Slim, so it's like he was with Ziggy. He had him with him a lot,
Well,
he carried him around.
Let me just say this. I don't want to, I don't want to apply the pressure because I don't want to seem like I'm taking a side. But I did watch the Lil Soulja Slim interview. And he gave some math to where he was like, the dates were off. And he never met Ziggy, what you said he did. Soulja was acting like he didn't know his name.
Right.
So, I'm not saying he insinuated that you're a liar, but it could be perceived in that way.
Right. And I caught all of that. Like I said, I saw all of that. And Ziggy saw all of it. So, it's like, it's whatever. But Slim was in jail when the baby was born. But Slim was in jail about to come home when Ziggy was born, because Slim was there. And the dates and times are not off at all. He made the baby. He went to jail. Slim was back and forth in jail. He'll be home today and tomorrow he in jail. Then he back out. He back in jail. He was always in jail.
Yeah, that's what the twins just said. He was always.
Always in jail. He never was home long for anything. So he can make a baby, go to jail, come back, the baby born. That's him.
Right.
But I tell you one thing, the first person was at the hospital was Slim, Jig, and I forgot who else was with them. They came with their cigars, and they was there when he was born.
Who was Jig?
Jig is Slim right-hand man. They like best friends.
Is Jig still around?
Yeah, Jig is around. Mm-hmm.
Has Jig spoken on the situation?
Jig haven't spoken on the situation like on a platform, but he tells it. You know, everybody talks to each other. But as far as getting on the platform, no, he didn't. But he would.
Yeah, well, he's invited.
He would, and a lot of Slim homeboys have spoken on it. I have videos, I have all kind of stuff that they telling me, Dana, it's time. Slim, you know, wanted it to be done a certain amount of time, whatever. So, hey, I felt like, well, it must be time. 25 years.
Right.
And that's how old Ziggy is.
25. Man, did he ever ask, like, about his father when he was young?
Ziggy had his father. They had their father at different points. Slim was like, I'm a step in, grab you, go type of guy. He didn't do many pictures with them at all. He would take pictures of them, but as far as him being photographed with them, no. There's only one picture I have with Slim and Ziggy, and that's it. But the other pictures that I have of Ziggy when he was small, Slim took them. So, yeah, he wasn't that type. He was very, very protective of his family, his children, his family.
Right.
It's a repeat cycle in their family though, because y'all didn't never pay attention to this. Let me bring this to y'all attention. Slim last name is Tap. That's the mama last name. Peach's last name is Porter. That's Slim daddy last name. They did a blood test with Peaches. Peaches wasn't for lip. So Linda, why you didn't change her name and make her a Tap, and why you didn't make Slim a Porter? They tore up.
You said that the reason Slim didn't want it to be known that he had a child was because of how real it was. Can you describe how real it was for Slim?
It was real. It was really real. Anybody know of Slim? Anybody listen to his music? Slim rapped about everything he did. Everything he did, every crime he committed, he rapped about it. He talked about it. He threw it in their face. So that's the reason why. And then a lot of the times I was with him with the foolishness. So no, we didn't want our child known. He didn't want him known, and I agreed to it. But back to that Lil Soulja Slim interview. I did hear him say that the times didn't add up. The times do add up. I did hear him also say he's not going to no longer say he's the only child. And I also heard him say that.
He said that? He did say that?
And I also heard him say that when they asked him about Ziggy, he said, oh, who, dude? Oh, what's his name? Ziggy? Oh, yeah, that'll never be my brother. So basically that lets me know, and that lets Ziggy know because he watched it. Oh, DNA come back, you my brother, you still ain't messing with me. There's no other way to put it. That's how we feel.
Well, let me say this in his defense, because you know I have a brother, right? I have a very similar situation. You know what I'm saying? We met at a funeral, and you know, the DNA come back, dad on child support. You know, and both moms not accepting it. My mom or stepmom not accepting it. And I talked to my brother about it, and you know, he basically like, well, shit, bro, I don't know, bro.
Right.
It ain't that he had nothing against him or was anti a relationship. He just already antisocial. And so it's like he not really just fucking with people.
Right.
You know, so I don't think, and I'm not trying to speak on his behalf, right? But, you know, just giving Lil Soulja the benefit of the doubt, I don't think he was saying that he wouldn't embrace him as in woo woo, but, you know, we're not going to be on the phone every day, you know, but I don't think.
Right.
I don't think we can really, you know, and maybe this is just me trying to be too sensitive for the situation, but I don't think we can really determine how somebody would feel until they know for sure.
Right. And from that statement, you got to realize Ziggy is every bit of Slim. He's arrogant. He's humble too. But when he heard that, that's a wrap on that.
Right.
That's a wrap on that. So this whole thing about me introducing him, he wanted to know them. He wanted to get to know his family. He wanted to, you know, be embraced by them. But
so Ziggy wouldn't do the DNA if Soulja, if I call Soulja right now and be like, hey bro, you know what I'm saying? If this true, you know what I'm saying, just get a DNA and she go away. You know what I'm saying? Would you be able to do that? I don't know if, you know, like, it's the story is so crazy. You know, Ziggy locked up right now.
Right.
Is it like a tooth? You know what I'm saying? Like, how would you even get the DNA?
It would be a swab. So, it'll be a swab. So
would the courts will would you even go about? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know. I guess they're waiting on me to do everything because I will. It's to the point to where I've sent 2 messages, so I feel like now I have to subpoena her, you know, and then if she don't agree to it, then hey, the world know, you know, it is what it is.
Who is the her?
Ms. Linda, his mama.
Oh, his mama. Yeah.
I want the DNA from the mama. I want the DNA from Ms. Linda. That's who the DNA I want.
You know, I understand that. But
I
it's
want
like,
the DNA for her, from her.
Right. I understand that. I'm just like, man, if, you know, Lil Soulja is willing to do it, then it should, cause my thing is, it ain't even about, you know what I'm saying, the whoop. It's more, I feel like it's closure. You know what I mean?
Right. It's closure.
And that's necessary, because that's not fair for Ziggy.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not fair for Ziggy. You know what I'm saying? And Ziggy is not in no good frame of mind right now when it comes down to this.
Right.
After seeing Lil Soulja say that, you know, but hey, he already know he gotta accept whatever somebody say. You know, but he's willing to do it. He's gonna still do it, but he wanna do it with Ms. Linda.
The grandma, right?
Right.
Okay. Overstood.
So that video that Lil Slim, you know, what he put out, it's no nothing to that no more. He was willing to do it with him and meet him or whatever. He don't have to hang with him. He don't have to be friends with him. He don't even have to be around with him. You know, if that's your brother, that's your brother. Period.
Right.
But mine is not the type to run behind nobody. And he made that clear on the interview that he did. He said he tired of the disrespect. He tired of the back and forth. He tired of disrespect. He tired of what's going on. Because I'm his queen. You know what I'm saying? He's not finna have that. But you gotta remember, I go back to it again. That's Slim. He got a lot of Slim in him. And a lot of me too. So.
Yeah, you know, and
he's humble in a way. He's humble. He was very humble in the beginning. On his interviews that he did, he's very humble. And you could hear the passion in his voice. But after seeing that just turned him all the way around.
Yeah, and
I can't bring him back.
I understand that too, and I hope he watches this and hears me, because I'm just like, man, like, you know, sometimes the internet can be a tricky place, you know.
Right.
And sometimes, you know, like I say, I can't speak on Soulja. You know, I'd have to ask him myself. But
right.
sometimes the way people may say things may be perceived one way. Like, yeah, it's some joking, but
Right.
it's like, you know, from my perspective, the fact that he'd be willing to shut everything up, like it wouldn't even matter what they said or how they felt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If the DNA come back and is this what this is, then you got to embrace that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep. But hey, it is what it is. You know, I was called liars. I was called clout chaser. I was called this and that. What am I clout chasing? What am I after? Is no money. I mean, it's not about that. It's about my child wanting to know his family. So that's why I'm telling this. Because truth be told, he don't have to know none of them. He have family. He have a grandmother. He have a great-grandmother. He have people that raised him. I mean, he wants to meet them. So I'm going along as a mother to satisfy my child. But the more this stuff go on, which could have been plain and simple and easy and done with, now it's a big old mess. And now I got Ziggy on this end going left.
You and Slim are both from the Magnolia.
Yeah. Both from Willow Street too.
Okay. Around when did you meet him?
I met Slim when Slim was 14 years old. Now, that's another misconception that everybody is getting. Meeting him at 14 years old don't mean nothing but meeting him. Getting with him later on in life, that's when that happened. But at 14, we was just meeting. I'm on the porch with him while he writing raps. I'm one of the guys, you know, all us hanging around, whatever. It wasn't no hooking up and doing all this, whatever. That came later on in life.
So, but you went to private school, right?
Yeah, I went to private school.
So, were you, even though you went to private school, you were still in the politics of what was going on in the Magnolias?
Right. So, I don't know. It's just, I'm a different breed. I'm a different breed. And they have some of us that went to private school out the project. The project is not all bad. It's not all bad at all. So, it's a few of us that went to private school.
Right.
And I went to private school from pre-K all the way to 12th grade.
Right.
And then from 12th grade, I went to Southern and Baton Rouge.
Right.
That's where I went to college at.
Well, did you know any other buzzing rappers out of the Magnolia?
Yeah, all of them. All of them. Juvenile, Turk, Wacko, Mr. Marcello, Currency. Who am I forgetting? Slim. Trinity rapped. Duck used to rap. Logger used to dipping down, but he mostly a comedian. Yeah, it's a lot of rappers at the Magnolias. And people don't even know DJ Khaled is from New Orleans. DJ Khaled family had a store right by the snowball stand called Red Rooster, right in the 6th Street Coat. And then they had another store on LaSalle. And he was raised up in that store. They got a lot of people that get older and they leave.
Right. When you were growing up, you had the Hot Boys, but the Hot Boys wasn't a rap group. It was a...
Which Hot Boys? They got 2 sets of Hot Boys.
Oh, you have 2 sets of Hot Boys?
Yes.
What sets of Hot Boys is that?
2 sets of Hot Boys. Which one you want? The rappers or you want the gangsters?
The gangsters.
The gangsters was Terrence Gangster Williams, Alvin Stone, Mosquito, Sterling, and Dooney. That was the original Hot Boys.
If they were known as the original Hot Boys?
Yes, they were known as the original Hot Boys. The Hot Boys got their names from them.
So that's a known fact in Louisiana.
That's a known fact in Louisiana that the Hot Boys got their name from.
So when Gangsta beat Joseph saying that, or when he came out calling himself Gangsta the original Hot Boy, like that's a real thing.
That's no lie. He really is, and that's baby brother.
Right.
So of course You know, Gangsta got a lot in stake with, you know, a lot of in tech with the Cash Money. He helped them start off the record label.
What you mean he helped him?
He helped them. He gave them some money to start the record label off, and it just went from there.
And it took off.
It took off.
You had a relationship with Gangsta before.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was y'all's relationship back then?
Me and Gangsta relationship was always sister and brother. If I need something, I call him or whatever. That was it. If he wanted to meet a girl or something, I hook him up. Or, you know, he need us to go run an errand for him or something. You know,
right.
That's how it was. Just family. Everybody out the Magnolia, I think everybody out every project. Like my grandmother was everybody's grandmother.
Right.
Your grandmother would be my grandmother. You know, our uncles, our aunties, everybody went to school together. Everybody know each other. Everybody was family.
Gangsta, he's from the Magnolia too, right? Well,
Gangsta, from the Magnolia, Gangsta stayed across the coast from me in the Willow Street coast.
I saw Gangsta on an interview say that he would test Soulja Slim in the projects by flexing his Mac 11. He would target Slim out of his group, particularly because he was the tallest and had a menacing look. Did you know about their beef?
I know about that, and and I'm laughing because Gangsta knows. He probably gonna know what I'm about to say. Well, Gangsta did try Slim, and that was a true fact. And Slim wasn't having it. We stalked Gangsta all night until he came off of the Belmont coat, came through the 6th Street coat, and that's where we caught him at, going through the 6th Street, because you had to go through the 6th Street coat to hit Willow Street. So we stalked him that whole night till he finally popped up. And when he popped up, Slim drew down on him. And then they laughed, they talked about, well, they were serious at first, and then they dapped it off, and he was like, after that, oh yeah, Slim real, he about his business.
Gangsta talks about how he caught Slim, but he told Gangsta this ain't what that is, sparing him. Right. And then they became friends.
Right.
Why do you think Slim didn't step to Gangsta that night? Like, why was it? Because
he's the same way like Gangsta. He had to study him.
Right.
He had to study him. He had to know what he was up against. He knew, he heard, but he had to study him. He had to make sure it was gonna be right. And also, I'm gonna catch you by yourself. Like you played me in front of my friends, I'm gonna catch you by yourself. Right. So we one-on-one.
Right. Well, Gangsta says that Soulja Slim rapped about him in a song, Snort a Powder Bag. You heard that song?
Yeah, he rapped about him in there. Slim rapped about I could tell you this. Slim rapped about a lot of people, and he rapped about women too, but he didn't rap like women he was messing with. But there's only one woman that he made a whole song about.
And who might that be?
And that was me. And that CD, that song on that CD, it went gold. And to me, I don't care what nobody say, that was his best song on that CD.
How do you know he was talking about you?
He mentioned my name. In the beginning, he talks about my son. In the second verse, he talks about me. He calls my name.
Just, if we can be specific, just so people can know, you know what I mean? Where was he talking about you, or your son in the song?
In the beginning part of the song, right before he go to the chorus, he said something about people claiming to have my baby, but they gave another nigga the charge. He's talking about me. And then in the next verse,
what that mean, the charge?
My name. He's saying I gave another guy the charge of his son.
Right.
You get that?
You're right.
Yeah, he was saying he said I gave another nigga the charge of his son. So if that wasn't his son, why would he say that?
Right.
And why in the next verse he have to put that in there at all?
Right.
It wasn't no rapping to that, no rhyming to that. Why he had to put that in there? He wanted his son known. He didn't want his baby hidden. But he said it. And then right after that, then that's when he called my name in the next verse. And then toward the end, he clowned me about being out of town, living out of town. So everybody knew that was about me.
Right.
Whether how they want to say it, they want to say, oh, Slim was dissing you, this and that. First of all, Slim showed his heart. He poured out his heart in that song. It's very passionate. It's very, very passionate. He was hurt.
And for those who may not know, what's the name of that song?
It's called Write Me. It's called Write Me. And he was very, very passionate in that song. And a lot of that stuff Slim said, he was wrong. Because I did answer his phone calls. I did write him letters. I did, make his little store. I did go see him. Even my grandmother would answer his calls. He had my family on his side. So we made sure Slim was straight. But Slim was just hurt. He was just hurt because he was like possessive. Like I say, very arrogant. And he felt like I belonged to him. He felt like I taught you the game, you're going to take the game and run with it. Well, that's what I'm supposed to do. I ain't supposed to sit here with you with the game. I'm going to explore the world. Gangsta
talks about how when Slim was signed to No Limit Record, he changed his name from Magnolia Slim to Soulja Slim. Was that true? He was Magnolia Slim before?
Yeah, he was. Slim had several names. He was Ice Cream. Then from Ice Cream, he called himself Magnolia Slim. Then from Magnolia Slim, he went to Soulja Slim. Right. And Soulja Slim could have been a power move, being with No Limit. Changing his name when he wanted to,
because the soldiers, the tanks.
Right.
Right.
And then he was automatically, a soldier. Slim was a soldier to his heart and never been to the army or nothing.
Right.
But he was a soldier to his heart. He lived and bred being a soldier.
With him being from the Magnolias, you would think he'd sign the Cash Money.
Right. No, I don't know what happened, but he didn't sign the Cash Money. Nobody didn't want to take a chance on Slim. Slim was a live wire. You never know what you're going to get from Slim. Even Master P was on something the other day and he was talking about how he met Slim and how he signed Slim. Slim was robbing his homeboy. And then he turned around and saw that was P, and then he signed him. P told him to holler at him when he gets straight, and then he gonna sign him. So Slim called him, and then he signed. Master P signed him. He kept his word. He signed him.
Straight like that.
Straight like that. He kept his word, and he signed him. But he was a live wire, and he knew he was taking a chance with Slim. You never know what you're gonna get.
Right.
You never know what you're gonna get with Slim.
Was it a big deal him being from the Magnolias but working with somebody who was from the Cali?
No, it wasn't a big deal at all. It wasn't a big deal because Slim and C Murder was best of friends.
Right.
They were best of friends.
How does your relationship with C Murder?
My relationship with C Murder is okay. It's right now. I really need to find out how to get in touch with him or whatever. But my main relationship was with P. Because P was the one that helped me with my son. He's the one that took care of him with me, for Slim, I should say. So, I have nothing but utmost respect.
What do you mean helped you take care of him?
He used to give me money, he used to buy him things, he used to take care of him.
You think he was doing that because that was his artist?
He was doing it because that was his artist and because he knew me. Me and his cousin was best friends.
Right.
So it's like, it's a family thing.
Master P is one of those guys that gets a bad rap as well.
Right.
When it comes to looking out for the community.
Right.
But he's like, you have people like you who come out and say he helped take care of.
Right. I worked at the airport, the New Orleans International Airport, 7 years. And every time Pete came through, every time No Limit came through, it was nothing but love. The whole station was nothing but love. Nothing. I'm talking about, and every time he came through, he gave me something to take home to my son. But when Cash Money came through, it wasn't never no love. Never no love. They just look, go about your business, and I'm like, damn, wow.
Well, did they know?
I mean, yeah, they know who you are, but just, I guess, the arrogancy, you know, they just, oh, I don't want to talk, I don't want this or whatever. So I'm like, wow.
When you see a situation like Master P and Romeo, you know, I watched the Romeo show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, literally watch the Romeo show. It's time for the Romeo show. What kids have fuck? I'm a dish get sucked. Ain't nothing like no, for real. I used to watch the Romeo show.
Right. It was good.
Yeah, and I seen how, you know, I was a fan of how P put it together. You know what I'm saying? I was a fan of how Romeo as a talent, you know, did his thing. Mm-hmm. And you know, but when you see that as somebody who you know them, what was your thoughts?
You talking about with the disagreement they had?
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I felt like Romeo was wrong. That's your daddy. You know what I'm saying? He have always made a way for y'all straight, but I don't know exactly what it was that went on, but I felt like Romeo was wrong. I felt like he was wrong because he have to air his daddy out like that. Because if anything, P made sure all of his kids are straight. All of them. They all set up and they all straight. They all been to college. The last two, they in college now. You know, so I didn't see why it was. I don't know if he was having a breakdown, a mental breakdown or something, Romeo. I don't know what it was, but I know they made up since then.
Why don't, if Master P is like you say he is, where he, you know, literally looks out and he doesn't have to, why don't more people from that area come out in his defense? But it always seems like it's somebody trying to tear him down.
Right. It always have been like that. Yeah. I think they try to tear him down because he left and he was in California. I think that's the main thing why they try to tear him down, because he left New Orleans, Louisiana, and moved to California. First of all, he went and started his own business or whatever, selling CDs out the trunk, got stable. Then he came back, but never came back to live. He came back to Baton Rouge to live. He didn't go back to New Orleans and live. He built a whole Master P. It was called a No Limit Island. And it was no limit estates. Every rapper had a house. Every rapper had a house. And them estates is still there to this day. But it's only very few of the rappers that stayed in the house. Slim never was at his house. He wanted to be in the project. But everybody else was at their house.
Peaches at one time claimed that Master P put a hit on Slim. So we just want to clear the air to see, is there any correlation? Is that false allegations? Is that, you know, any credence to that? Or?
That's false allegations. Totally false. P did not have anything to do with killing Soulja Slim. At all. At all. That's just totally false. It's too well. It's so many people talking, and this one saying this one, and that one saying that one. And she just going by what she hear. She don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, no, P didn't have nothing to do with Slim getting killed.
Yeah, and by her being, you know, Slim's sister.
Right. She just riding with whoever come to her with the story. That's like me. If me and her was cool, I go tell her, girl, you know they say this and that or whatever. She gonna go fly on the internet with it. Gotcha. And then you don't know. You playing with this man. You don't do that. You messing with this man reputation. You all on Instagram. Even in the hip hop homicide. You all on that somebody that man had your brother killed.
Oh, she was featured on Hip Hop Homicide?
Yeah, that ain't right.
And they tried to implicate Master P?
Yeah, they was mad because P was on there. They didn't want P on there. But 50 Cent wasn't having that. 50 Cent wanted P on there. 50 Cent, if you watched it, Master P talked so good about Slim, and he could have asked Slim out. He could have talked about all the drugs, everything. He did not do him that. He did not. That man had just lost his daughter. He was talking about mental health issues. And Slim had mental health issues because of the drugs. Because why wouldn't I want to stay with this man where my CD done went gold? I'm still out here doing stupid stuff in the street. He didn't want to stop. He didn't want to change.
Man.
And that, give me $1 million. Shit, I bet you I go sit down somewhere and be still.
Nah, for real, I'm getting out the hood.
Shit, I'm not even going back to the hood.
I know already them to change my number.
I belong in Baton Rouge. In my house, I'm going to be at my house.
Right.
Shit. So paid for?
P bought
everybody.
Slim was included in
yeah, they all had their own house. Man, you think I would have been in the project? Shit, looking for trouble, getting their home way, getting shot at? No, I'm going at my house in Baton Rouge and chill out. And make my music.
No, for sure.
But I'm under the impression, I'm thinking, shit, Slim might have liked the streets and the drama better than he wanted to make money. I don't know. It don't make no sense. It don't wear out. Everybody can't change. Yeah, everybody not meant to change. You know, the lucky ones who did change, that was good for them. But Slim got cut down in his prime, man. He was just, I think Slim was finna sign with G Unit. He was finna sign with G Unit. And then he started his own record label. And then he did the last CD he did was with Koch Records. So they could say what they want about P. They could say P had Slim killed and all that foolishness. That's just crazy. That don't make no sense. Because why would he have his artist killed? That's dumb. You know? That man ain't finna get his hands dirty like that.
There's an interview going super viral right now. From some guy named Ripper the Skipper. Out of see, it's like y'all be laughing. Does everybody know everybody?
That's Skip.
Right. Skip.
Yeah. Skip and his brother name is Cleve.
Well,
they're sick with it.
Yeah, sick with it. He says that in 1999, gangsters snitched on him during the investigation of first-degree murder of a victim in the Iberville housing projects. Yeah. And he has the paperwork to prove it. Gangster was their star witness and picked him out of the lineup.
Right.
Now this isn't the Terrence Gangster Williams we're talking about now. You know, the reformed Muslim. No. This is Terrence Gangster Williams, the original Hot Boy.
Right, and you got to know why. And if he did it, and why, you know, that was Sterling got killed, his original Hot Boy.
So what do you mean?
Skip killed Sterling. Remember I named the Hot Boys? Gangster, Stone, Sterling, Mosquito, right. Dooney. They killed Sterling. Skip killed Sterling in the Iberville project.
Well, Ripper says Gangster told he had paperwork. Back then, Gangster had a flawless record. I feel like, why would people be tripping on Gangster now if they didn't trip on him then?
As far as what? The new stuff, how he came home?
No, not the new stuff. Back then.
Back then, I mean, nobody was tripping off that. Anybody would have stood up and said, well, look, you know, it is what it is. But I don't know. I saw the interview. Skip said he had the paperwork. I was trying to look at it. I barely could see it.
Did he show the paperwork? I didn't see it.
He showed it on there. He had it in his hand. He had it highlighted or whatever. But I really couldn't see it. But, yeah, he said he had the paperwork to prove it. If somebody did put a case on you, or if somebody is saying something on you, their name have to be on your paperwork. Right. And they have to testify in front of you.
Yeah, they have to point.
Right. So he said Gangster did all of that. So I don't know. All I know is he killed Sterling.
Right.
That's all I know.
and Sterling,
and he lets it be known that he killed him.
I watched the interview with the Bob Report, and you described Sterling. He was one of those people they had that viral moment, you know, with the picture in the lap or whatever the case may be.
Oh,
and you was like, you know, Boosie should be careful talking about him. Like, that was where you from? Like, they were the steppers. They were the big deal. Well, in the same interview, Ripper talks about Gangsta running with the gun. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. From the mystique that I keep hearing from people from that area about Gangsta, like, is that just doesn't sound like Gangsta. But you knew him growing up.
Right.
But what was your take when you heard that or saw that?
That he ran from Ripper?
With the gun.
When?
The night Sterling was killed, he said Gangsta was there, and Gangsta took off to the gun with the gun and went, and that's when he told the law.
Well, a lot of that stuff was fabricated, because even Sick With It, Cleve, even he went on there and said, you know, if you're gonna tell the truth about everything. I don't see Gangsta running with no gun, and my homeboy shot and fighting for his life. I don't know who Sterling died in somebody on one of their homes. I believe it was Gangsta. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been so long ago, but I can't see him running with no gun. No fear never hit them. No fear at all.
Why do you think people are just now coming out with these stories?
It seemed like since Gangsta got released from jail and how he came home from jail, Gangsta really put the Magnolia on the map. And when Gangsta got released and Gangsta came home and Gangsta did his first interview, when he started talking and, you know, letting everybody know what's what, Gangsta put the Magnolia on the map. Because when he started talking, he naming certain people, so now they want to hear that person's story. Everybody out the Magnolia and everybody out any project got a story to tell. There's a lot of living legends everywhere.
I said that in my last interview with the Magnolia twins. I said, well, you know, I feel like Gangsta kind of, for this new era, for my era at least, me, the way I know of what's going on in the Magnolia, I feel like this new wave of the Magnolia. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like some gangster shit.
Right.
But even though Gangsta's kind of doing that, do you feel like he gets the respect he deserves from his city?
I don't know. I don't know how they feeling about him down there in the city. They don't mention Gangsta. They don't nothing, but I don't think he gets the respect he deserves, because everybody, you know, they calling him a snitch. They calling him a rat, you know, stuff like that. So I don't think he gets his just desserts. I don't.
Yeah, well, you did an interview with Gangsta.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you still associate with Gangsta. How did y'all maintain y'all's relationship?
Because I rolled with him not the whole time he was in jail, but some of it, and you know, that's my homeboy.
Was there anything else you wanted to let the people know?
That's it. I wanted to explain to them about that song that I ain't no hoe. And that's about it. I don't know. Whatever else you wanted to ask.
There has been people who've said, you know, you was sleeping around with Slim's friends.
Yeah, because that's what Slim say in the CD. In the part where he say my name.
Right.
Yeah. He named 2 of them was my cousins. Slim did that because he wanted to make their names rhyme. He was the type of person, if I get big, I'm bringing all y'all with me. So by him knowing that he was with No Limit.
He was really alley hooping.
Right. So by him going with No Limit, I'm finna put my boys down. So he put all of them name in there that rhyme.
Right.
And it so happened with 2 of my cousins too. But that's what I'm telling Peaches, you so stupid you don't even know 2 of them my cousins.
Right.
He just put it in there to rhyme.
Appreciate you, Magnolia Dana, coming through. You know what I'm saying, and blessing us with your presence, your wisdom, your stories, your truth. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing but the truth.
I can only imagine, some of the things that you've endured on this here internet, run people off, you know what I mean?
Right.
And see you still here strong, standing with us, standing in the gap, you know what I'm saying, on behalf of your son, Ziggy.
Right.
I do want to ask, before we go,
Mhm.
Ziggy right now, he's fighting the murder.
Right.
His dad was killed and was into some of the same type things. If Soulja Slim was here, how do you think he'd react to the news of what his son is going through currently?
The thing, and I ask myself this all the time, how would, and I include Lil Slim too, I'm like, how would these boys be if their daddy was here? Knowing that they had a daddy like that, and with Ziggy with a mama like that, how would he have fared off? But my mom and my dad raised him. They have him together. I took care of him, but they instilled everything in him. So, that's a hard one, because I really believe Ziggy and Slim would have been getting into it, because they're the same person. They born on the same day. We all Virgos, all four of us. Me, Slim, Ziggy, and Lil Soulja, we all Virgos. We all days apart. So I believe they would have been getting into it, because I'm not going to let you tell me nothing. I think I know it all, this and that. They're going to bump heads, but that's your daddy. So I want to see. I really, to be honest, I would love to see Slim discipline Ziggy right about now. I really want to see that. I would really want to see him discipline him, because I want to see what Ziggy going to do. Because he going to give Slim a run for his money. He going to stand up to Slim. And don't care if he going to get knocked down. He going to stand up to him. But as far as Ziggy, was he in jail for fighting a murder charge? Ziggy is wrongfully convicted. Ziggy got convicted because the DA told him they was going to make an example. Yeah. The DA told him they was going to make an example out of him because he didn't want to snitch. They wanted him to help them with their case, and he already know off top. I keep my mouth closed. That wasn't his job to help them find whoever they was looking for. So he took the lick like BG took his lick. I ain't snitching. And he took the time, and he doing it.
How much time did they give him?
They gave him 10 years.
10 years? Okay.
They gave him 10 years, but it's 3 for 5 out here. So he only have to do half of that. He just came up for parole in January. And by that being his first parole, of course, they denied him. Because when he got back there, I guess, young, they was fighting and all that, or whatever they do. I don't know, but yeah, they denied his first parole. So his second parole, I don't understand why they set it off 2 years, but they set it off 2 years. So he finna come up for parole again, 24. Yeah. January 24. So this year almost over with.
Oh, for sure.
So when he touched down, I want to see how they gonna be ready for him.
No, for sure, man. Magnolia Dana.
Hey, real tone, it's some real money in the room.